The devastating impact of plastic pollution on marine life has been well documented, but new research reveals an even more alarming consequence. Seabird chicks that ingest plastic show signs of brain damage similar to Alzheimer's disease. Scientists at the University of Tasmania have discovered that migratory seabirds, specifically young sable shearwaters, are suffering from severe neurological and organ damage after being fed plastic waste by their parents. While the visible effects of plastic pollution, such as emaciation and starvation, have long been known, this study shows that even seemingly healthy birds may be suffering in ways that are not immediately apparent. The research team conducted blood tests on dozens of shearwater chicks and found disturbing evidence of neurodegeneration, stomach lining decay, cell rupture, and organ disruption. The presence of plastics in their digestive systems triggered physiological changes at molecular level, including damage to their liver and kidneys. Most concerning was the impact on their brains. Protein patterns in the blood tests resembled those seen in human patients suffering from neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. This means that young birds, just beginning their lives, may be experiencing a form of cognitive decline that drastically reduces their ability to survive. The sheer toxicity of plastic waste is now affecting wildlife in ways that go beyond physical harm. It is attacking their nervous systems and potentially altering their behavior, making survival even more difficult. Shearwaters are already among the most vulnerable bird species when it comes to plastic pollution. Previous studies have found individual chicks with over 400 pieces of plastic in their stomachs, sometimes making up as much as 10% of their total body weight. Chicks rely on their parents to bring them food while they grow in burrows for about 90 days before embarking on their first migration. However, many parents mistake plastic waste for food, unknowingly feeding their offspring toxic materials. While some chicks are able to regurgitate portions of the plastic before they begin their journey, the overwhelming amount of plastic pollution makes it unlikely that all birds can fully rid themselves of these harmful materials before migration. Despite appearing outwardly healthy, the young seabirds affected by plastic ingestion may face an insurmountable challenge. Researchers who examined their condition before migration expressed deep concern over their ability to complete the journey. If the internal damage is as severe as the study suggests, many of these birds will not survive long enough to reach their destination. This means that entire generations of seabirds could be at risk, with plastic pollution contributing to declining populations at a rate that may be even worse than previously estimated. The implications of this study are particularly troubling given the scale of the plastic crisis. Previous research has shown that just a handful of multinational corporations are responsible for the majority of the world's plastic pollution. Yet global efforts to curb production and consumption remain slow and largely ineffective. As plastics continue to flood marine environments, the effects on wildlife are only becoming more severe. The suffering of seabird chicks is just one example of how plastic waste is disrupting ecosystems at a fundamental level, leading not only to physical damage, but also neurological impairment that may permanently alter animal populations. Without immediate intervention, the problem will only worsen. Reducing plastic waste at the source is the only way to prevent more young seabirds from suffering this fate. Stricter regulations on plastic production, improved waste management systems, and increased public awareness are critical steps in addressing this crisis. If action is not taken now, plastic pollution will continue to poison marine life in ways we are only beginning to understand, leading to irreversible damage to entire species and ecosystems.